Defending champions TNT Tropang Giga and the Magnolia Hotshots will meet again, this time in the semis of the PBA Philippine Cup. They will tip off its best-of-7 series tomorrow at 3 p.m. Also at the Big Gnome. The series is a rematch of the All Filipino finals last year, which TNT won in 5 games. The Tropang Giga also defeated the Hotshots during their elimination round match last June 5, 78-72. That's despite the absence of Rookie of the Year and MVP finalist Mikey Williams. And now joining us to go all out on this story is TNT Tropang Giga head coach Chot Reyes, the birthday boy. Coach Chot, good morning. Belated happy birthday. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Andre. Thank you, and thanks for having me back.
Do you feel a year younger or a year older?
I feel 10 years older with everything that's been going on.
Importante, you got to spend it with the family last night. Anyway, Coach, belated happy birthday again to you. At etong parang regalo yata sa'yo, Magnolia ang makakaharap mo sa semifinals. Was Magnolia the semis opponent that you anticipated, considering NLEX really pushed them to the limit in the quarterfinals, and that game 3 went even into overtime?
We thought it was going to be an interesting series between NLEX and Magnolia, but after Magnolia won that first game, we had already started preparing for them because we thought that they would win game 2 as well. Obviously, when NLEX won the second game, we had to also start preparing for NLEX just in case, but eventually it turned out to be Magnolia.
Like I mentioned nga, this is a rematch of last year's Philippine Cup finals. Kumbaga, finals rematch pero nasa semis pa lang, so it's a blockbuster. It's a treat for the fans. I even see online, naku, abot game 7 to. Ganun na yung mga predictions sa mga tao because TNT and Magnolia in the semis, you couldn't ask for any better than that. You dominated that series last year, winning 4-1. Do you feel like you have some sort of psychological edge over Magnolia?
I don't think so. If you take a look at the makeup of that team, I don't think any team in the league is going to have a psychological edge over them in any game they play, because that's just how they're made up. They really don't care what the other teams are doing. They'll just go out and do their own thing, their own stuff. Coach Chito Victorero has done a great job preparing that team, and even their players, their leaders, they know how to play, they know how to win, and that's why I don't think there is any kind of psychological edge here.
Well, last time you faced Magnolia was way back on June 5, so that's almost 2 months ago. And you had no Mikey Williams then, but a number of Magnolia's players also weren't at 100%. Si Paulie was dealing with injury all season long. Do you feel like you'll be facing, you said it's a different makeup, this squad, but will this be a much tougher Magnolia team this time around? Kasi nung nakausap ko naman si Coach Chito Victorero toward the end of elimination round, he said nagpipeak pa lang daw sila nung time na yon.
Yes, exactly. This is a very different team than the one that we faced last June. Remember, after that, I think they had a string of 3 losses.
Yeah.
They've won 8 straight, and they won 9 of their last 10 games. So this is really the hottest team in the league right now that we're facing. So everything that happened in the past no longer counts. And we have to really prepare for, like I said, a Magnolia team that's playing at a very high level. Their confidence is sky high, and it will take our best to be able to compete against this team.
If we go back to that June 5 game, Magnolia TNT, ano yung mga, coach, positives and negatives? Sige, let's take a look at both sides. Positives and negatives that you saw from that game. What are you looking to adjust?
Number one thing is Magnolia will really make you bleed for your points. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league. So that's one thing that we have to concentrate on, figuring out how to score against this team. I remember that time we shot poorly from the field. Yeah, oh yeah, their numbers are there. We shot poorly from the field, and most importantly, our turnovers. We have a high rate of turnovers. We turned the ball over. What's that? 17 times against them, and we cannot do that against this team because they really their game thrives on forcing these turnovers to score their points. So we really have to make sure that we take good care of the basketball.
Well, coach,
So that's
yeah,
those
yeah,
are the
yeah.
things that we have to look out
Yeah.
for. Uh, and I think the positive was we found a way to win even when we were not shooting well,
Yeah.
and also without Mikey.
Yeah.
So all of these things are going to come into play in this series.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Coach. Kasi if you're able to win even without Mikey nga, it means, di ba, what more if you add a guy like Mikey Williams because he will really be, kumbaga, malaking factor. I know it's a team game, but Mikey, that guy just can score from anywhere. And si Coach Chito nga, alam mo ba kahapon ako si Coach Chito, Coach Chot, tapos sabi niya, nagbibiro pa siya, sabi ko, without giving away too much, paano mo dedepensahan yung Mikey Williams? Sabi niya, baka daw even ipasok niya si Johnny Abarrientos, pabantayan niya doon. Sabi ko, kahit siya mismo pumasok na, si Coach Jason Webb, di ba? Sila na daw magsama-sama para bantayan si Mikey. But what kind of impact are you expecting from Mikey and this series? Because Magnolia, as you said, is a really good defensive team. They will try to contain Mikey as much as possible.
Again, he gives us an extra weapon to put some more points on the board. Like I said, Magnolia prides itself in its defense, so we have to be able to score consistently against them to get a chance to win. But remember, when we played them, like you said, they were not 100% either, so it kind of just washes off. And you can see now the way Paulie is playing, they have their own version of Mikey Williams that we have to worry about. So, like I said, I think it's a wash. Both teams in our first matchup in June are not the same teams that we are today. So we're going to see starting tomorrow which team is able to bring which team is able to impose their will and their game on each other.
Well, Coach, if there's one player who's been the team's rock throughout the conference, very consistent, it's RR Pogoy. And he's even, he was the only TNT player in the top 10 of the best player race. I was talking to my producer about this. Na steady kasi si RR. He's just been really consistent. Let's talk about RR Pogoy and what he's been able to do for you, for this team, and this conference, especially nung mga times na wala si Mikey, tsaka nung nawalan kayo ng mga key players due to injury. What makes RR Pogoy a best player of the conference, of this conference for you, Coach Chot?
People forget that RR really made his name in the league, and even when we drafted him for the national team in the first time in 2016 or 2017, we really drafted him for his defense. We really drafted him for his ability to play great defense and shut down his man. And everything that we get on top of it, his ability to score, his three-point shooting, those are just kind of testament to the way he has grown his ball game, and that's what RR brings to us. He gives us an elite defender, very good rebounder for his position, and who you cannot as well take for granted on defense because he can score.
Yeah.
So, but really, for us, every time we talk about Pogoy, it's always from a defensive point of view.
Yeah. Kumbaga bonus na lang yung pensa, but this guy can just really score. Kasi napakahusay din. His basketball IQ, ibang klase din mag-isip, lalo na sa defensive end, sa mga schemes. Grabe din to si RR. Okay, Coach. Let's shift gears. Ngayon naman pag-usapan natin yung Gilas Pilipinas. And di ba, you did just face the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas or SBP to present your plans for Gilas in next year's FIBA World Cup. I believe that meeting was yesterday. Can you tell us what happened during that meeting? And kung okay lang, Coach? And kung ano yung pinresent mo sa kanila, Coach?
I don't think I'm at liberty to present the details, except to say that we presented to the SBP board the month-on-month plan that we've put together from today until August 2023. I mean, not only from today, we've had that plan in place since a few months back already. So, but this was the first time we've had the opportunity to present it to the SBP board itself.
Well, Coach, senators have filed a resolution seeking an inquiry in aid of legislation on ways to support the national men's basketball team. Well, can I get your reaction to that, Coach?
Well, it's most welcome. Any support that we can get from the private and public and the government sector is most welcome. I think any kind of national cause, not only for basketball but in any sport, truly has to be a national concern. And like I said, as many stakeholders as possible come in to help and support, it's most welcome. I'm very happy for it.
Well, Coach, maraming salamat again for your time. Good and a pleasant morning to you. Regards to the family again, Tito Cherry and your kids. And belated happy birthday to you. Coach, mukhang batang-bata pa rin. Thank you, Coach.
Maraming salamat, Andre. Thanks for having me.
Thank you again for always giving us time, Coach. And good luck in the semis against Magnolia. Again, that was TNT head coach and Gilas Filipinas head coach, Chot Reyes.